What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, we back.
We back
Did you miss us?
They always do. Right now, I bet you guys are sitting on, I don't know, maybe your couch, maybe you're in the car, maybe at work, just having a kind of a bummer day, and you're thinking to yourself, what would cheer me up?
Intercode Podcast.
Boom! We are back with another episode. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. Any and all feedback and interaction with you guys has been amazing. So thank you so much. Wanted to remind you that, again, we are on social media at Intercode Pod on Twitter and Facebook. We are also at Intercode Podcast on Instagram. And you can find our Anchor.fm page by going to anchor.fm/Intercode Podcast. So you can find us all over the place. If you want to leave a comment, if you want to leave a voicemail on Anchor.fm, we love your feedback and we want to hear more of it. So speaking of feedback, we have some news. And
what? What news?
We're starting off with some news. Ladies and gentlemen, we're making a YouTube page.
Yeah. We're taking over everything.
That's right. I my wonderful wife Manuela, bless her heart, you know, she tries to enjoy the toy hunting that I do. Some of it she kind of gives me looks of like, okay, that one you really want. But other times she's super supportive and finds really hard to find figures.
Yeah, my wife gives me that look too. Like, why do you want this? And I'm like, don't question. Just, I could have other addictions that are not as.
That's true.
Bad.
AKA crack.
Yeah.
Talk about that crack cocaine. So showing my wife some toy review videos. You know, she wasn't digging a lot of them, and John, Triple J, John Jefferson Jr.
Yeah.
You had a good idea, didn't you?
I did. I said, we could do that.
And we can. And that's what we're going to do. We're excited about it. Hopefully we'll have some videos here within this week or maybe next week. But, you know, tonight before we recorded the podcast, we did a couple unboxing videos of some fun figs that we picked up and just stuff that we've had as, you know, part of the collection. And we couldn't be more excited. So we want to put up our podcast episodes on there. Any unboxing videos. You know, we have a pretty cool special edition set that's coming from Limited Run, and hopefully they'll be here, you know, December, January. We'll see. We'll
Probably
see
by
what
the end of 2020.
But it's gonna be it's full of just really cool collectibles from Streets of Rage 4 and so much more. So we want to kind of branch out, not only continue the podcast, but, you know, share our love of collectibles and, you know, review them, unbox them, show them off. And hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as you enjoy the podcast.
Right. I mean, our main goal from this is just we want you to have fun and have a break from the mundane day-to-day, you know, 9-to-5 job. Like when you interacting with Intercode Podcast with Ryan and myself, we just want you to have a good laugh with us, nerd out, geek out. Even if you don't know what we're talking about, we just want you to be part of our experience, be part of our Intercode Podcast family.
That's exactly right. So if you go on youtube.com, go ahead and search for Intercode Podcast. We should have some videos up soon. Trying to upload some of our old podcast episodes and hopefully have some of these videos up of these unboxings that we did tonight. Anyway, it's going to be a good time. It'll be a good time. So, John, what's new with you? What's been going on?
What's new with me?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm excited to do the YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do something on YouTube, whether it was doing drawing tutorials or stuff like that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, we're on this toy hunting kick, so it'd be nice to show off some of the things that we have. And,
put some use to them instead of having them collect dust.
Right. Other than that, just been working. I had for my own side stuff, I have my own art page on Facebook. So I did a raffle, and the winner decided that they wanted me to take one of their kids' drawings and add my own spin to it. So I just finished that one. It was a lot of fun. The idea, I guess, from what I could tell from the picture that she presented, would look like a dragon knight. So I just kind of went with that and added my own flair to it. And I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Like, you know, just talking to her, she's like, oh, I love it. It's going to be a Christmas gift for her son. So that means a lot to me that, you know, she appreciates my skill enough. Because, you know, being an artist, you're your own worst critic of, oh, you suck. You're not that great. And you're like, oh, someone likes what I did. Sweet. Confidence boost.
That's right.
John just leveled up. How about that?
Tell them though, what's the Facebook page? Where can you look it up?
I don't know. You think I know stuff?
Yes.
It's
Isn't it John Jr. did it?
Enter code John draws stuff.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. It's jjdidit.com, and that's jjdidit.com.
We would love for you to go drop him a follow and go on that drawing journey with him. He's talented, man. He's talented.
I try.
I got a custom picture of myself as a Ghostbuster, and let me tell you, I look nice and slim, and unlike real life.
Hey. Big is beautiful too.
Big is beautiful. Big is beautiful. For me, a couple weeks back, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did tell John that I was going to give My Hero Academia a try.
Yes.
So, good news, I'm about 10 episodes in, and it is very enjoyable.
Told ya.
Characters are likable. The bad guys are, you just don't like them, and you want the good guys to win. There's a lot of really cool stuff about it. I was telling John earlier, just before we started recording, that some of the inner monologue stuff does make the episodes drag a little bit. As Deku is thinking about the having this power on him and how it could hurt him, but he's gotta practice, and and that could just draw out a scene a little bit. As it's just showing him shaking, going, what do I do? You know what I mean? But overall, though, enjoyable. Lots of really good characters. So I will continue, and we'll make sure that we at least get through the first season, and I'll keep you guys updated.
So after you watch the first season, can I show you the movie too?
Is that when the movie takes place?
The movie is separate.
It is separate. Okay, so I don't have to
You don't have to finish the show to watch the first movie.
Okay, then yes. Movie night.
Yay!
Let's do it.
Awesome.
And my oldest son and my oldest daughter, they love it as well. So we can all watch it together.
I'm converting his whole family to anime. It's great.
Yes, that's right. So tonight, besides that big YouTube news, we had a couple things that we wanted to discuss with you. First and foremost, we just got done finishing watching Hell in a Cell, the latest WWE pay-per-view. And Hell in a Cell is one of their big ones that they do on a regular basis. And the idea behind it is that they are in this steel cage that is painted red. Mm-hmm. I think it's bigger than a traditional cage. I don't know.
It's a big cage.
It's a big cage. So, people are in this cage and they're talking and they're duking it out and
beating the crap out of each other.
Yes, because you're locked in with the ref and any weapons that are underneath the ring, and anyway, it gets pretty fun. So, shout out first and foremost to the wrestlers that do the Hell in the Cell fights, because it can look a little brutal at times.
They put their body through some stuff.
Yeah, it can't be comfortable being thrown into the chain link, fence part, or even the steel part of the cage. And a lot of times, the heel will grab the face of the good guy or the face, and press it against the cage and talk smack like, oh, you like that, and it can't feel good, No. So as a real quick recap, we'll go over kind of some of our favorite matches and other ones that were just kind of meh, okay, and kind of see where some of these storylines are going to go. First and foremost, just as a real quick recap, Roman Reigns defeated Jey Uso. We'll talk about that in a second because it was first on the pay-per-view and it was incredible.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that here in just a second. We had Jeff Hardy and Elias after that. Following Jeff Hardy and Elias, we had... My mind is drawing a blank because it's 11 o'clock at night.
Was that the Otis Miz one?
Yes. Otis versus Miz for the Money in the Bank contract.
And for those of you that don't know what that means, the Money in the Bank contract basically is whoever has that contract can challenge the champion for any title. So it could be the heavyweight title. It could be the Universal Championship. It could be the Intercontinental United States. It could be Cruiserweight if they wanted to, or go over to NXT. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see with it. There was a little bit of a storyline development in that, so it wasn't quite a throwaway. After that, we had Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
Oh.
I know. Another good one, spoiler alert. And then the evening ended with Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
Oh, you forgot one.
Did I?
There was the...
Hurt Business versus Retribution.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley versus Slapjack. Sorry, that was a very forgettable match. So, apologies for forgetting that.
Their names. Like, Retribution could have been so much better, but the names and just execution.
Yeah. It's a lot to be desired. So let's talk first about Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Roman Reigns, bad guy, just wants his respect, wants to be known as the chief, right? Head of the family. He comes from a long line of Pacific Islander wrestlers, really good ones too. And Jey and Jimmy Uso as well. They come from that as well. What'd you think of the match?
I didn't know what to expect. Like, I knew Roman was going to win, but just the way it went out, like it was probably some of the better storytelling we've had in a while in wrestling, and it almost felt like it was genuine instead of just acting. Like there was a lot of this. Oh, Roman thinks he's the king of the family, like he's the top dog, and Jey has always been trying to come after him and can never step up, and it's just like, you will respect me and my authority, or I'm gonna beat you down. And it just was brutal, it was vicious, but you could feel like, I don't know, it just felt so genuine and real. And I don't know if there's actually any animosity between the two, but just the way the story was carrying, I was like, oh, and we're starting with this? Okay, this is gonna be a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it was I guess one of the unique factors that we can appreciate being in a COVID world of wrestling is that the audience doesn't drown out the talking in the ring. Usually the mic will pick up in a crowded arena, like some snippets here and there, but we could hear really everything that they were talking, and it was... I know it's not real. Please understand, wrestling is not real, all right?
Shocker.
I know. But there was just an element to it where they were really into it. And it felt like, oh man, there is some family drama and some animosity between them. And there were some brutal moments. I mean, go figure. The fans, the WWE Universe, wanted Roman Reigns as a heel for a very long time. And no wonder, he is knocking it out of the park as a bad guy. So overall, the storytelling was just beautiful, and it ended with him winning. He basically was hurting Jimmy Uso, so Jey had to say "I quit" in order for the match to end, and then it ended with the family members, the grandpa and uncle and dad.
Uncle and dad, yeah. So it was Roman Reigns' dad and his uncle, who were actually, some of the founders of this family legacy. They were the was it the Head Shrinkers? No,
Wild Boys.
Wild Samoans?
Wild Samoans. I think it's Wild Samoans.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
So they had, like, I guess in that culture is like the patriarchs or the heads of the table have these special like beads or like leis, I'll say. And it was kind of like a ceremonial thing, is they put these around Roman, and he just kind of stood held high with his championship like, I am the king. I told you what was going to happen. You're going to get hurt. I was like, ooh, I still get goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah. And for once in a very long time, Paul Heyman doesn't have to do much as Roman's manager. Like, Roman is killing it as he's talking on the mic. It's not a Brock Lesnar situation. So it's just kind of cool just having Paul Heyman in the outside and his great facial reactions. He sells it really, really well. So arguably the best match of the night, I would say.
I would say so.
Yeah. Then we go down to Elias beating Jeff through disqualification. we focused here and there on it. It was definitely kind of a throwaway, whatever. Let's give Elias a match because he's back, and we'll see if they do anything with that feud. I don't know. I would like Jeff to have at least one decent feud before he's gone. Yeah.
I think he's getting close to that, though. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking on Jeff. Like, I love the Hardy Boys. Like, Matt and Jeff are still probably one of my favorite tag teams of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Watching them and Christian and the Dudley Boys in their tables, ladders, and chairs matches, those are some of my best memories in my teenage years.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Just do them right.
We got a lot of good storylines, but with the good come the bad. So we'll see if they...
That's just how it is with WWE.
Yes, it is. After that, a match that I thought was going to be kind of a throwaway match ended up having some interesting results. So Miz versus Otis for Money in the Bank. The storyline was, Otis is just joking around. He doesn't take it seriously. The Money in the Bank contract is something that should be, not taken lightly, and you should, use it. Like, he's been holding it on to it forever and hasn't done anything with it. So Miz did defeat Otis, got the belt, or got the Money in the Bank contract through the inactions of, I guess we can say, Otis's former tag team partner. So that was interesting ending to it, where Otis's former partner Tucky smacked him, kind of knocked him out,
cost him the match,
and then kind of, I guess the only disappointment with that is during his post-match interview, Tucky was kind of like, did the same old, I wasn't respected, and he can't do anything without me, just kind of like the same old
woe is me that we had in a lot of tag team falling out issues of, I want my time to shine, which I get. I mean, Otis was the shining star of Heavy Machinery, which is the name of their tag team.
Yep, everyone wanted, and he did make some good points. Everyone just wanted him to tag Otis in to do the worm and Caterpillar. Caterpillar. That's right. Sorry, that's Scotty Too Hottie's move. You can't do the worm. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we all knew something was going to go down because in the draft they were separated. So
something had to happen.
And then they had this weird attack segment afterwards where Otis attacked him, and then I think they were supposed to cut away and they didn't, and that's why the cameraman had to run into that part of the arena. It was kind of a weird transition.
It was awkward.
It was very, very awkward. So we'll see what Miz wants to do. I mean, I don't know. I don't see Miz winning anything, so we'll see what he does with the contract.
You could see him try and cash it in and it blow up in his face.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, poor guy. After that, we had another Hell in a Cell match. Again, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. And, oh boy.
Second best match of the night.
Very, very good.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know that I could put one over the other. I'm kind of like the Roman Reigns and Uso match and Sasha and Bayley. I think they're both my favorite ones of the match or the night. I can't really put one over the other.
Right. Bayley and Sasha have been working together, it feels like, for years now. And so the way that they somehow can one-up previous matches is really impressive. Where they've had amazing matches before, and then it's like, oh, they did something new. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I like this. Lots of really cool spots. Sasha hitting Bayley with her knees while jumping off the table. Kind of slamming Bayley into the fence.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. There's a pretty good spot on a ladder.
There was that one spot where Bayley was trying to duct tape some kendo sticks together, and you can hear her talking to the ref, hey, I'm kind of sweaty, can you help me? And the ref was like, no, I can't help you. I was like, okay, that's awesome. I'm glad we could hear that, because if the audience was there, we probably wouldn't have heard that.
Oh, we would never heard of it done that. And there's been moments like that. Actually, a previous Bayley and Sasha match, where Sasha was trying to set up something, it just wasn't working, and the crowd was just yelling, and it was it was nice not having the crowd to have that little moment where, Bailey obviously knew she was struggling. She just, you know how it is with duct tape, people. You can't, rip it off right away. And you can't find the little end of it to get a piece. So it was just funny. Yeah, funny moment with the ref. I'm a little sweaty. Can you do this?
No.
Yeah, no. Get back to the match. The surprise, though, was that Sasha won. I was surprised.
I'm so happy. Like, I wanted Sasha to win because I feel like it's long overdue.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not just the support for Bailey. Like, don't get me wrong, Bailey was good in her heel role as champ. I'm not knocking her credibility or anything like that, but I feel like it was time for Sasha to come out on top and not just be there supporting Bailey and making sure she wins all her matches. And I'm pretty sure the storyline isn't over, but that was a nice end for that match because you were like, oh, that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, and Bailey, as a bad guy, is a really good whiner. So I'm excited to hear kind of the post-match, on Raw interviews.
I was robbed. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
She cheated.
Exactly. It's going to be really, really good. So hopefully they keep this going. Congratulations to Sasha and to both of them. It was a really good match. I mean, the only reason I would say Roman and Jay's was a little better was that just I think Sasha's and Bailey's match dragged on just a little bit, kind of went a little longer. So that's my only complaint.
That's fair.
So good between them, and the chant fight forever. I mean, they could have, honestly,
right.
If they wanted to, they could have, and it was still been really, really enjoyable. So after that high, kind of we go down to whatever storyline this Hurt Business versus Retribution is. It was a snore fest. When WWE takes so much time to make Retribution this, this super, these guys are trouble, we got to do something. And right now they're looking pretty weak, and it's like they don't know what to do with them. There was a shot in the arm, I think, when Ali joined, because I think he's super talented and he's really, really good, but I don't know even if he can save.
It was a good idea, just not great execution. Yeah. And I'm not knocking these guys again. They're all great wrestlers. Mm-hmm. Their names are stupid. I mean, even the Hurt Business was making fun of the names and saying, because I guess the whole idea was because of this whole rivalry, Ali during the pre-show said, yeah, any of you guys versus one of our guys. And who was it in the Hurt Business? I think it was Shelton Benjamin was like, oh, the one in the stupid mask. And you just see MVP and Cedric Alexander just kind of go back and like, which one? It's kind of in their face, and he's like, sling bar, crowbar, whatever his name is.
Right.
And it was just a squash match, and you knew that the rest of Retribution were going to join in. So then the Hurt Business comes down, and it's just like, okay.
Well, and some of those wrestlers in Retribution, spoiler alert, I mean, if you go online, everyone knows who they are. Mia Yim, for example, a really, really good wrestler. She's super talented. One of the tall ones, Dvorak? I'm saying his name wrong. He was maybe.
I was about to say Drago. Nope, that's Rocky IV.
Nope. Look it up. He was in a really good competitive matches with Keith Lee back in NXT before he got called up to whatever this garbage is. There's Madden. He was an announcer for a while, and then he went back to kind of train for wrestling. So I mean, these wrestlers are known, and it's just kind of weird why we're still...
Dominic Djokovic, thank you. Yeah, so you got Shane Thorne, Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Dio Madden, and Dominic Djokovic.
Yeah.
Dijakovic. Sorry, I said it wrong. Dijakovic. Forgive me.
They are really good wrestlers, and we're still doing this with Retribution. So anyway, hopefully something's going to come to an end, and they can just wrestle like they normally wrestle. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if it's going to happen, but Well, then after that, we finally got our main event, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. You know, they've been in a couple clashes before. Now they're in Hell in a Cell, and there are some pretty good spots in there, namely, you know, them going to the top of the cage, which is kind of crazy, and then, you know, it wasn't quite Undertaker Mankind, but Randy did knock Drew off of like midway point as they were climbing down.
That was still a pretty nasty fall
onto a table. Yeah, Drew McIntyre's a big boy.
Drew was like coughing up blood.
Yeah,
right?
we talked about how big this boy is, and you know, it looked like it hurt to crash through the table.
Yeah.
I mean, but he tried. He kept fighting. But the surprise result, though, is Randy Orton won. You know, and he won. I don't want to. I guess fairly clean. I mean, an RKO took him out. Took out Drew.
It was a clean finish. I mean, Randy was playing possum.
Yep.
He was acting like he was hurt pretty bad. Drew went for his finisher, the Claymore kick, and Randy just clapped his hands, went down, moved it out of the way, and then he caught Drew with RKO. And you know, Drew has been hurt already. He just fell off the cage. Still probably coughing up blood, and his back is messed up as he just landed and missed his finisher.
Yeah.
And Randy won. And I'm just like, I didn't see that coming. I thought Drew was going to have the belt longer. I was hoping he would.
Mm-hmm. We've mentioned this before, and just it's so weird that he has been champion with no real audience. You know, he has done a remarkable job since April of being a champion in such a weird time. I hope he can win the belt back. He needs it back. It's just too soon. I don't think he needs to have like over a year run, but like at least make it a year. You know what I mean? Give him a chance, because right now the times are weird, and you know, all respect to Randy. You know, he's again the champion again.
Right, been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens. I think, you know, the Randy Orton Drew McIntyre storyline is going to keep going. Sasha and Bayley obviously are going to keep going. I'm interested to see where Roman and Jay go.
Right, what's going to happen on Raw?
Right. I wonder if Rikishi makes a return at some point. You know, talking about it, trying to, you know, I was joking with John, like, what if we had like an Islander, you know, faction of you know, the Usos join Roman in a stable and I don't know, just dominate. You know, can you imagine all three of them and grab a couple other, you know, Pacific Islander wrestlers? Didn't just have this big huge faction. Anyway,
I do miss factions. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've got Retribution in the Hurt Business, but we don't. I mean, we've got
yeah.
Undisputed Era in NXT, but you remember, you know, we had the Nation of Domination, we had DX, we had the Brood.
Yes. Ministry.
Ministry.
You know, there's so many.
The corporation.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right. There's never really like only two. There's always been a few more mixed in there, and I could see them just having a really good showing. You know. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I kind of want to see. I honestly wonder if The Rock will show up at some point. You know, well, maybe he can. I know they called on The Rock to try and get Roman over when he first was starting to win. Didn't go well at that Royal Rumble.
No.
How many years ago? It would be really interesting for Rock to come in and be like, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And then having heel Roman get right back in his face. Like, it could be very, very cool. So we'll see how it goes. Overall, though, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable pay-per-view.
And it wasn't super long. That was nice. Like, it felt like it was pretty short for a pay-per-view.
That's
like,
right.
Normally it's like we're watching these things to like midnight, 1 o'clock, it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Kind of feels like it's like 2 hours for pay-per-view is kind of what they're trying to hit. Which, thank goodness, because a 3-hour Raw is still way too much. And so...
Wasn't Raw only like 2 hours back in the day?
Yeah, it was for the longest time.
And it felt so good.
Right. It was, you know, they showed off the storylines. It kept things concise. You know, matches were shorter, which were good and bad. Just depends on who you talk to. Mm-hmm. So the next pay-per-view that we will talk about is going to be in November. That's going to be Survivor Series. So that'll be kind of interesting. I wonder if they'll do a kind of a storyline again where NXT is involved. I would like that because those matches last year were great.
Yes.
Very, very good. There is another pay-per-view from NXT, and they're bringing back Halloween Havoc. and I believe that's next Saturday.
I think so, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if we can watch that. Hashtag dad life, you know?
Right, we'll see what our kids and wives allow us to do.
Yes. Yeah, well, exactly. And I don't know, Halloween during COVID times, I'm still not sure. Like, is there anybody that's going to pass out candy? Should I just go to Costco and get like a bag and just...
That's what I'm wondering, because I know like my neighbor across the street, she's still planning to give out candy. She even made a comment to my wife. She's like, if the parents dress up in costumes and they're really good, they get special candy. And I'm like, so what? A big size Kit Kat? Or
yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
But I don't know what the neighborhood's going to do. I know there's probably some that are still planning, because there are some people that are more lax about this. I mean, as long as we're wearing our mask and, you know, just you go to the door, hold your bag out, trick or treat, and toss it in there. But if no one's going to do it, then I'll keep my kid in, but we'll see.
I mean, you know, candy's individually wrapped, like, so it should be pretty safe. And like you said,
just toss it in there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, you have to worry about, the distance, that's 6 feet, which you can kind of maintain that distance from, you know, have a bowl and just stick your hand out and have the kids grab it. You can kind of maintain distance between kids and those passing out candy.
Or you could even just have a bowl out on front and be like, you know, take one, please.
Yeah, yep, exactly. I was going to say that, you know, congestion, you know, having a whole bunch of people bunched together, you know, so... Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. So maybe we might watch Halloween Havoc. Maybe we won't. All right.
The plus side is I get off early on that day because it's a holiday. So, yeah!
Really? They consider that a holiday?
They do. Because they know we're family oriented. So,
okay.
We close at 6.
They're family oriented, but they make my mans enter a raffle in order to buy a PS5 or Xbox.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
We won't talk about that. Well, because then we'll talk about that for an hour.
Yeah.
So last thing we want to talk about is your homework assignment. Yeah, you thought we forgot, didn't you? Nope, we did not.
Nope.
A couple weeks back, we had a suggestion, or at least a homework assignment. We wanted you to think of 5 video game characters that could form an ultimate superhero team.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I didn't really give too many rules to this. You know, I was hoping you'd follow kind of the spirit of the law, where you know, don't pick the X-Men video game, right? I mean, we want like actual video game characters, not superhero teams that are in video game form. If that makes sense. Because otherwise I'd be like, oh, the Avengers done. And then, you know, what kind of lame challenge is that?
And then you're just like, I win. What's up?
I know, right? So I have my list. I have my 5. Unfortunately, my list is a bit male heavy, which, you know, I'm not exactly proud of. But we, you know, I think my team could do some serious damage. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, you ready for it?
Go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, I have to have Kratos on my team. He is an unstoppable force, and I think him having nicknames for all the other team members would be really funny. You know, maybe he'll call them boy 1, boy 2, boy 3, boy 5. You know,
scrub.
Yeah, punk. Like, you know, it just could be really fun. But honestly, with his blades, I mean, he can do some serious damage. Master Chief, had to put Master Chief on there. You know, we need like a leader. Master Chief can be a leader. And also some you know, having some long range weapons doesn't hurt the team, right? I put Ezio on my team.
Interesting.
From Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay. So
I know there's a lot of other stealth characters out there. You know, I probably could have done Solid Snake if I really wanted to, but Ezio, you know, Assassin's Creed 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal story and phenomenal game. So I wanted his stealth and charm, you know, when he's not in his assassin form. I thought he would be a really good part of the team. Had to have Link on my team because, I mean, come on.
It's Link.
It's Link, you know. I need those, you know, when he comes in. Just Link is just obviously Legend of Zelda are some of my favorite games of all time. So had to have Link in there. The last one on my list is Dom Santiago from the original Gears series.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes.
Threw me a curveball.
I did. After a lot of thought, Dom's compassion kind of resonates with me. He is arguably one of the best characters from the Gears series, and the emotion that I felt when he finally found his wife in Gears 2, like, man, I was so invested in that, and then how it cut away to how she really looks and not in his mind what he remembers her looking. Brutal. Marcus Phoenix in the background, like, just brutal. So I think Dom's caring, not only about his wife but about his team, caring for Marcus and things like that. I really think, and obviously his major sacrifice in Gears 3. I just think that would be a really cool aspects to have on my team. So, and a chainsaw machine gun, like, why not?
That is probably one of my favorite weapons in video games.
I can see Kratos taking that, like, boy, give me that machine gun. So yes, my top 5.
Okay. So I'm going to go off of some of the feedback I'm going to list some of the feedback that we got from some of you guys, and then I'll go into mine.
Perfect.
So one of the lists, we got Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, Kratos again, Master Chief, Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher, and Samus Aran. The reasoning on this one: total domination. Every category is checked with skills, talent, and defense. And then,
Samus would have been a good one. Right? I didn't think about Geralt.
Well, it's one of those things, you're not thinking about it, and you just bam.
I know. It's those dreamy eyes that Henry Cavill has.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So another one we've got. This is actually from Ben, that I played Street Fighter with. Big Ben. Shout out to Ben. You've helped me out in a lot of situations with home renovations. Appreciate you. So number 1, Lara Croft. For multiple obvious reasons with the winky emoji. I'm not going to say his last name because I don't want his wife to beat me up. Another Geralt. For those times when arrows and bolts just won't cut it. Might not be reliable though due to his penchant for Gwent and sassy sorceresses.
Yeah. He's got some weaknesses.
Right. Mario. Gold coins and extra lives.
Okay.
Zangief, because who else will crush a man's skull like sparrow's eggs between thighs?
I had to slap my thigh
and
there.
He's not a bad guy.
Just because he's a bad guy, he's not a bad guy. Perfect.
Last one on his list is Jigglypuff.
Oh.
Because after a long day of kicking digital butt, you need a good nap and a marker mustache.
Ben, we need to talk about your list. There's some interesting choices we have in that. No, what a team. I mean, that could be really fun to watch.
Like an oddball team, but I like it.
Yeah, that could definitely work.
The last feedback we had, and then I'll go into my list, is pretty simple. Was since they were Dragon Ball games, I'd say Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks. Not sure I need anyone else. I think I'll win any fight with that team. I'm like, all right, just want to be overpowered. I mean, I get it.
Well, I mean,
it's cool.
It's going to take about 5 episodes for them to get overpowered.
You're not wrong.
I mean, but yes, if the enemy will wait for a few minutes, then yes, they'll power up over 9,000 and be able to handle business.
Right.
Okay. I respect that.
Next time on Dragon Ball.
Gosh.
All right, so you ready for this?
I'm ready for your list, yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So I didn't want to be overpowered. I wanted to be something more practical, a team that would maybe have some powerhouses in there, but also, I don't know, they'd have to be strategic on how they would take down some of these other teams or something they came across. So my number 1 was Mega Man X.
Okay.
I think he would be a good leader, just because he's a leader in his series of fighting against Sigma and the Reploids, and you'd be very strategic and be able to lead them out, and he can steal everyone's power and use it against them.
True. That's true. Yeah, that's a good one.
Obviously, Cloud Strife.
Yes.
Because Cloud is just awesome, and I just wanted him to swoop in there with his bike and just wreck shop.
I respect that.
So unlike you, I did have a female on there.
I know, man.
I chose Samus.
Yeah.
Because Samus she's seen all these battles. She knows how to fight. She's a good soldier, so she could be kind of like a second in command to Mega Man. I also have Geralt of Rivia.
Okay.
just because you need that powerhouse. So the Witcher is going to be in there, and he's going to have all these spells to enhance you or enhance himself.
Yep.
And then rolling out, Cole McGrath from the Infamous series.
Interesting choice.
So I chose Cole, and again, this is just kind of me being kind of random, but also like, what would even out this?
Mm-hmm.
So I think kind of like you with Dom, Cole would bring some of that compassion aspect to it, because he got these powers, doesn't know what happened, but well, also depending on how you play the game, because you have the light and the dark powers.
Right.
Character type, going with it, he has compassion, he's trying to do right by his city and be the hero, but he's also overpowered as heck.
Yeah.
And he was different. He's not your typical superhero, so he's not going to be like, Superman, hey, look at me, up in the sky, I can fly.
True.
It's, okay, what can I do to help you? And I think that would be a good round out for the team.
Okay. I dig it. Some good ones in there, even though you bashed me about not having any girls on my team.
I mean, you said that at first, so I just went on.
I know, and maybe that just means I need to broaden my gaming. Yeah, I kept thinking of Ellie from Last of Us, and then I thought, well, which version?
Oh, right.
Like, do we want Last of Us 2, where she's like, I mean, I don't know if any of the other teammates would be able to stop her if she got some, bloodlust and was really like out for revenge on something. Because I mean, man, she has some scary moments in that game.
Right.
I didn't want to be like, have it be protective Last of Us. You know what I mean? Where she, you were protecting her majority of the game. I guess maybe the part of Last of Us where she was protecting. Wow.
Drawing a blank.
Yeah, I am drawing a blank. That's amazing. Anyway, where she was hunting for food and got caught up in those with those cannibals.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, she stuck out to me, but I don't know. Maybe I should have done like a top 6.
Maybe we'll do this list again and just revisit and see if we keep with our same choices.
Right. By the way, the name's Joel. It's getting late, and that's okay.
Right, it's all good.
Anyway, now, if you did not do your homework, don't worry. As a school teacher, I do allow late submissions. So if you decide you want to join in and you want to tell us your top 5 video game characters that would make a great superhero team, do so on our Facebook and our Twitter page. So it's at EnterCodePod. Otherwise, you can leave a message. You can send a DM on or a private message on Instagram at EnterCodePodcast, or don't be cowards. Leave a voicemail on our Anchor.fm page.
I dare you to leave a voicemail on our Anchor. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
You did. Triple dog dare you.
Triple dog dare.
Triple dog.
Quadruple triple dog.
That's right.
I just made something up.
That's fine.
I just want to hear from you guys.
I know, right? Give us something. All right? We'll splice it into the video. We'll splice it into the episode. Just don't cuss.
Yeah, we try to keep this kid friendly.
We try to.
Friendly.
That's right. But yeah, feel free if you didn't get your submissions in before, do so whenever you feel like it. All right, we'd love to hear from you, and of course, we'd love to hear any feedback from you. So that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. Again, we would love for you to go and search our YouTube page at EnterCode, or not even at, on YouTube. EnterCode Podcast. We're going to have some fun videos on there and also some more, our podcast episodes. So we would love for you to drop a like.
Subscribe, share. Give us some feedback. Tell us how we can grow.
Yeah, hit that notification button if you want to know. I feel weird telling people that.
Right?
Smash that like button. Anyway, we would any love on the YouTube page we would greatly appreciate. So, all right, that's all. We appreciate you guys. My name is Ryan Welch. I'm with the super handsome chosen one.
Yes!
John Jefferson Jr.
Man, my name is a mouthful, but I love it.
But we love it. Triple J himself. Anyway, we're at EnterCode Podcast. Thank you so much for all your support, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Laters.